game today?
Let me go back.
I don't.
And we can give you the answer to that question.
I don't think he has, right?
No.
Like he's, I mean, they'd be like, oh my God, why are the commentators glazing Godly so hard? He's not that great.
He's
and it's like, he's not lost today. What do you want me to say? Oh, he's kind of mid. Like, come on, bro. Like, he's consistently clapping everyone up. And granted here, likely going to recreate the same thing. We're going to see if Skeldra maybe, just maybe, might be able to leave a dent, maybe at least a rudimentary bruise to say that Skeldra was here, because otherwise it's been the Godly show for not just this tournament, but every other one, well, not every other one, but the like past 3 before it. So
I mean, we heard Impala say it on the pre-show this morning, like going into this tournament with 300 points, a perfect score, the max score you can possibly get, because he won Ymir, he won Frigg, and he won Balder. He's therefore poised to take this tournament as well, although they are pretty even though he is going to get this first stock. Like, Skeldra did a good job adding up a lot of damage onto this first stock of Godly here in game 1.
But then it's a matter of like, how hard does Godly lap you, right? Because I'm always down to go toe for toe in damage, but when it comes to fighting the KOs, Godly has been ever so efficient. Ooh, but that's gonna
Oh no!
Okay, there we go.
Finds it
Second time's the charm. All right, cool. So he doesn't get lapped that hard, but that's wild. It's rare that you see that happen. But I mean, also sometimes you just gotta, you know, hold in a little bit longer. You got a lot of time on that D like to really position yourself, but you're so used to just mashing the recovery that like it's gonna hit, right? But there we go. Skeldra trying to cook a little bit here. Godly ready to fight a bit of a different beast here in this newly awakened Skeldra, but that side sig gonna tuck him in a little bit. One more Sayer should call it, and wow, gets him at the perfect time.
And Godly with a huge lead. One of the few times we've seen a signature come out from him. We've seen a handful of Qatar signatures come out, mainly like the down signature. We saw the attempt at a side signature earlier, but it did get interrupted, I believe, by Moonir, but I can't remember exactly. It was the D-Light side air. Keeping this pressure going. Sweatbeat's coming out.
Oh my gosh.
Still caught him before he
he's a professional.
Oh,
Nice.
He gets back, okay.
And that's Jaeyun for you, and that's why I always say Jaeyun, one of the best legends in the game. That neutral signature is going to be the difference, right? Any other legend there are likely going to end up, you know, having a date with the gravestones, but not Jaeyun. He jumped right over it like it was child's play. Like, I don't... Hold on.
I'm sure the viewers at home like love hearing it in the game normally, and then when you
I do it, it's like
you add the reverb on top of it. Like, yeah, I'm sure everyone is happy with that decision.
I mean, listen, dude, it's like if anyone's ever watched like competitive Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it's like we're so used to Zero just doing lightning loops with his little beam saber, and that's just that I'm sure like it's nothing new to these people. I mean, also shout out to Godly for getting game 1. I mean,
almost
pretty convincingly there. Yeah, it's like not to detract from the game, but there also hits a moment where like the aura is aura-ing so hard that it's like, all right, so yeah, guys, you know, he clocked in today, and I think I kind of felt it. Actually, around that Sayer that we saw on that second stock, where it was like it was taken so convincingly, perfect spacing, goes in with the down sig, and it's like there's no hesitation. We saw him have perfect spacing around the gravity cancel side sig earlier as well, and that to me was a sign, because Jaeyun's greatsword side sig is deceptively massive, and if you perfectly outspace that, it has me shook, because I'm like, you should this should work, you know.
I mean, that's just something that adds to Godly's tools that he has and knowledge that he has, because Skeldra has now been a consistent top placer in EU, so like he's dealing with that on the regular, where players in North America might not deal with it as much and know the finer ins and outs if they don't play the weapon, which is very few people. Then like that's something that Godly is going to have over players who are from North America, or depending on, I mean, people have played against like Yuza's Greatsword. There are a handful of Greatsword users in South America as well. So yeah, it's just like great matchup knowledge that Godly has because of Skeldra's consistency as a top player now in the region.
Hopefully, this one's a little bit different, right? We got no plats. We're trying to cook. Godly still looking in the driver's seat, but not by a lot. Honestly, the damage is very even here. And so hopefully Skeldra might be able to get even maybe a lead. That would be so cool. But Godly is so quick to put on the offensive. I mean, look at the way he backsteps in perfect sync with Skeldra, knowing exactly where he wants to be. And Skeldra trying to find it. Goes for this down sig read again. Honestly, I think if Skeldra goes for reads with more N sigs and less down sigs, he might find more accuracy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who his opponent is. Skeldra has really struggled to find that down state, whether it's raw or whether it's after several moves that he's already thrown out in the attempt to get that read. But even so, like we see it going even here, and Skeldra may very well take this first stock, but also like last game was extremely even on the first stock as well, and then it just slipped away further and further, especially on that second stock. Godly caught such a lead, and then he just held on to it. And there, we see him grabbing first stock here, again, just a little bit over a minute into the game, swapping over to the sword, now back onto his guitar. So he has the next weapon he picks up is primed, a set of guitars. So we can lose this stock here, and he'll still get back onto the guitars.
Man, this one is looking so tough here. It's just like the consistency is where Godly seems to lap people, right? Like Skeldra's really good at bursting, right? He has these moments where he really pushes his advantage, and then it can be a little slow for a little bit. But Godly, every single time he comes near you, it feels like he's bursting, right? He's trying to cook here. He tries to go for double D-Light. Doesn't quite get the second one, but like look how confident he feels around maneuvering around Skeldra's movement.
Yep. And it's so hard
the perfect spot dodge
for Skeldra to find these KO options. Finally grabs it, but his stock is like wilting away as we speak. Even picks up the neutral light there. The stage is so small. Skeldra was probably just trying to run away until his iframes from Godly spawning in ran out. And of course we see him picking up the Katars here. Doesn't have the spacing. Skeldra kept backing up and throwing out those side lights as Godly was pushing forward.
And Godly jumps across that weapon throw, waits, picks up the sword as well. If he gets a D-Light, that will be the stock with the recovery. And Godly, I mean, has just looked so impossible to beat today. Everyone in EU has struggled. No one has been able to successfully take a game. He's going for a clean wipe here. And I've said this once before, but I mean, it's looking pretty Charmin Ultra.
It's basically...
less is more?
It's basically the same lead that we had previously. Okay, all of a sudden, this is changing things. Has enough. I didn't think he had the distance for that. I knew he was going to go for the gravity cancel neutral sig because that's going to get him farther than just dodging in that direction. Okay, Skeldra, the comeback here, but it can wilt away in just a second.
Okay, that should be the stock there. The recovery is going to be enough. Skeldra feeling like he's being sharked though, right? Like there's always a constant looming threat, it feels like, as Skeldra's just trying to move around the stage, and even brave enough to throw that falling side air there. Tries to go for that read we saw work earlier, but has not successfully worked on Godly.
Okay, he touched.
And that's the thing, right? Godly's perfectly content just running back to the stage and grabbing a weapon. He feels like he's going to win neutral again.
The wall slip comes into play, and Skeldra is going to fall after getting hit because his jumps weren't resetting on each touch to the wall. Oh, man, that's brutal.
I mean, can you blame him? I'd be shook too, right? Like,
yes.
The guy who's not dropped a game today and has been consistently winning tournament after tournament is waiting on the stage looking to KO me, and I don't know what option I'm going to pick to get back on there. I'm going to keep just trying to stall for time, try to think it out. Maybe if I do enough calculus, I'll figure out how to get back onto the stage. And honestly, I think something that, you know, at the highest level of play that you really have to steel yourself in is sometimes the answer is just pick an option and hope it works.
Yeah.
You just got to be quick about it. You just make the decision. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And the next time you try something else or you try the same thing again. But you just have to be quick sometimes. Clearly, you know, sloth was the enemy of Skeldra there. Oh my God, Godly's not letting him go.
Sometimes no decision is the worst decision that you can make.
Yeah, exactly. Indecision will be the death of you. I mean, Jesus
oh
Christ.
My gosh, that's it on the stock.
You ever see
but a clean stock.
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy?
Yes.
I feel like I'm watching Spurg bully Billy. Like, come here, nerd. And he's just punching him by the lockers. Like, I really don't know what Skeldra is supposed to do here. I really don't.
Yeah, I think...
that's a great start.
Ooh, oh, finally gets it! Off of the spot dodge from Godly. Okay.
D-like ground pound.
Gets the D-like ground pound as
Let's
well.
Go.
Skeldra bringing it back, doing something he hasn't been able to do at all in this set so far.
All right. We'll take it, trying to get hype for Skeldra while we can here. Hopefully he has the ability to bring this. But every time Godly gets a hit, like tell me, every hit is winding me. Every single one. Oh, no. This is like season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I know you don't watch anime, but that's exactly what this is like right now.
It's like when no, I'm not gonna be rude. No, you're right. You're just right.
I'm praying for him, dude. I'm like, geez, Skeldra, come on. Come on, you got it, Skeldra. And then he gets clapped. Like, what do I do? How do I juice him up, Sparky? This is the end of the tournament.
Dude.
I want to gas it up as much as I can, but Godly is Himothy.
This is like during the vote of no confidence in Succession when Logan is still in the room during the vote and he's not supposed to be in there.
Oh, no.
And he's just demolishing Kendall, who wasn't able to make it.
And at this point, I'm like, I'm hearing the wubs, but it's really just Godly hitting downlight after downlight, side light, end light, every move in the kit. As Skeldra's trying to respond, Godly's being patient as well. He knows this is all but one. One final blow is all he needs, and Godly is going to be your Trial of Skadi EU champion.
I mean, he's the Winter Circuit champion.
Yeah.
He's coming into this with 400 points. They only take your top 3 out of 4, so he's coming into this really with 300 points, but he won every single tournament so far. He is truly unstoppable.
I can't wait